Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. So recently I've had a lot of people complain to me on TikTok and YouTube saying that, my collection is really cool and they'd love to do that too, but it's really expensive and not really practical for some people. And I agree with that. It's not super practical for even me, especially when I started. It was really expensive and I ended up wasting a lot of money. Well, quote unquote wasting. I didn't think it was wasting at the time and I still don't, but to a lot of people it was not the smartest business move I could have made. So today I decided I'm going to share a bit of my newfound knowledge. This is something I have always kind of been doing, but super subconsciously, and only in the past couple weeks have I really realized it and embraced it. In my perspective, the reason why my collection looks so good and looks like a big, full, complete, expensive collection is all the extras. It's not even Nintendo stuff. I buy other things to fill up my shelves. Some people might see this as clutter. I like to call it maximalism. I'm gonna go over a few things that I love to collect that are not Nintendo related, but really add to my collection. Now this might seem a bit odd to some people, but once you get past that kind of initial weirdness about buying them, they look really cool on your shelf. I personally love the color blue, and that's kind of my aesthetic that I'm going for in my room, so I just find literally any blue pop can and I stick it on my shelf. You can see I found some pretty cool ones, some obviously just Pepsi. I also did paint this can of chlorine, I think back in 2018 or 2019 when I had just discovered 21 Pilots, and I think it matches. I think it looks really cool. You can do this for any color or any specific brand. I've seen, obviously, Monster is a very popular one to just collect all the cans. I've seen some people do peace teas as well. It all depends on your personal style and if you have a specific color you like in your room, but I think pop cans look super cool. Then we have pop figures, Funko Pops. These are a little harder because I know they can be pretty expensive depending on which ones you want. If you're going for a specific series of characters, it can be more challenging to get them because they obviously range in price. But for me personally, I initially just bought a few because I was really into Marvel and DC, which is why we have Peter Parker, Selena Kyle, and Mystique over here. But recently I just got Piplup here, who is a Pokemon, and the reason I got him is, well, two reasons. First, he's adorable, and second, he's blue. That's it. He cost me like $15, which again, yeah, I know, it can be a little bit more expensive for Funko Pops, but I think they're worth it. I think they look really cool on your shelf, and I think they add a lot to your space. Next one is a bit more broad. I'm just going to classify it as knickknacks. Now, knickknacks can be anything. I mostly collect little figures, which aren't really sold anymore, but you can find them all over the place if you go to any thrift shop. You can get a few from Walmart. I have found one like this little axolotl I think is really cool, though he was more on the expensive side. But these other ones were all super cheap, like 25 cents. A lot of them are pre-owned by my family that I've just pulled out of boxes and stuck on my shelf because I think they're cool. Some of these are childhood toys for me, like this Belle figure. But I think they're a really fun thing to add to nooks and crannies of your room. They add just a little bit of color and a little bit of personality, and you can also theme them by color again if you'd like, but most of these are just pre-owned ones, so I didn't really get to choose the color. If you go to the thrift store, you can find those bags full of toys. They're like McDonald's toys or something. I don't know exactly where they're from. And I think if you're just looking for a little extra something that's relatively cheap, I would go for these knick-knacky type figures. Speaking of figures, I also like to collect Lego minifigures. These again are on the more expensive side because you have to buy them brand new for the most part. I don't know, maybe there's sellers online who have a whole bunch of duplicates that they've bought and you can just buy a whole ton for a decent price. I've never actually looked into it. I usually just buy one or two from the series that come out. A few of these are bought from a person who actually makes these figures, he prints them and creates these characters. So they're not official minifigures, but my favorite character is Harley Quinn from the DC universe, and I ended up buying a butt ton of these characters that he made, and they're a decent price. I think they're like $5 or something, which isn't bad, and they go kind of in the same category as the figures, I suppose. They're just slightly more specific brand wise, but they're really fun to just stick here and there. They add a little pop of color, and again, you can find some from specific movies, TV shows, whatever you like, specific characters in my case, and they're really cool to just have here and there. Now this one is definitely dependent on you already have spending this amount of money, which would be a few $100s potentially, or $80 depending. But Polaroid or Instax photos are a super cool way to spice up your walls, add a little bit of personality to them, and make it just look more full. So obviously you'll need a camera. I originally bought my Instax, which was $80 brand new. I know you can get them secondhand, and I don't know what the price of these are today because that was like quite a few years ago when I bought it. And then I got my Polaroid camera for Christmas about 5 years ago maybe from my family. It was a super cool gift. I'd wanted an official Polaroid camera for so many years, and it was super cool that they were able to give that to me. Film, however, is very expensive, but if you buy multi-packs or just, packs that have more than just the one case, usually you're getting more film for how much you pay. Not always, sometimes it's the same price, you're just, paying double for, a double pack of film, which is too bad, but that's the way it goes. Now, let's say you have the camera, let's say you have the film. Don't worry, you don't have to be super artistic, knowing how to, use film properly or take proper pictures or be a photographer, obviously. What I do is I just take pictures of things that I think look neat. Or, again, if you're going for the color scheme, take pictures of things of your specific color. It might seem weird, it might look weird when you take the picture or have just a singular photo, but altogether, I'm telling you, it will look really cool. I think it's super fun, and this one's just more personal, These are actual things you've seen and you've found, and you took that picture, it's for you. I've even taken some pictures of my Nintendo collection, though for some reason they've never turned out well, so I don't put any of them up. Now, this last one technically isn't a thing to collect. It's more of an idea of a thing to collect. I don't know if that makes sense. But speaking of color, you can choose a color for your room. Again, my favorite color is blue. I collect blue things. But since this is more of a recent discovery of the idea that I don't have to collect Nintendo stuff specifically, that I can just collect things, I don't have a whole lot of random blue things in my room, though I have kind of started, and it's more noticeable now than it ever was before. But let's say your favorite color is yellow. Buy yellow things. They can be super cheap. Go to the thrift store, find random yellow objects. You can grab toys, you can grab cups, you can grab caps, bottles, jars. You can grab random pieces of art you find that have got yellow or, whatever color you're into. Just literally anything. Go to the thrift store, pick your favorite color, or maybe, a few colors. Go with that in mind and literally don't look at anything else. Just focus on things of that color and go for it. Grab as many things as you can find that match your color palette or your specific color as best as possible. Go through everything and just find things that you think will look cool in your room. Not everything is going to match, some things will be too old, or some things will be too wrecked, or some things will just be the completely wrong style and it will not fit your room, and that's fine. It's a really fun thing to do. You can even do it with your friends if you'd like. Just have everyone pick a color and go nuts. The thrift stores, at least where I'm from, are usually fairly cheap, and some days they even have discounts. So, pick your days, pick your store, and have fun with it. Collecting shouldn't be a burden of spending money. Collecting shouldn't be hard, it should not be stressful, and it should just be fun. It should be for you. It should be something that you like to look at and that you like to have. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you guys got something out of it. Please let me know down in the comment section something that you collect that is not directly related to your official collection. I would love to know. I would also love to know what your favorite color is. Like, do you have a color that you collect? Like, I collect blue. Please let me know in the comments. Please like the video if you found it helpful and you genuinely liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more of this content. Don't forget to join my Discord. I put all my updates on there and we just have a lot of fun. Honestly, it's a blast. I love those guys. They're amazing. If you want to have a fun time with other Nintendo lovers, please join my Discord. It is linked in my bio and also in the description. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye! Please let me down. Please let me down.